Tonight,
It's time to go home.
Home?
the journey takes a dramatic turn.
You will embark on the biggest mission this competition has ever seen.
It's a 2,500 kilometre race.
And the race was on. We were out of here.
Crossing sea, land,
This way.
and sky. And for one couple,
We can't get there on $20.
coming last could mean the end of the road.
After the elimination, we went back to the penthouse to have a little bit of a debrief as to what happened. It was definitely a sombre feeling.
Tanya and Ramses, your fellow competitors have decided that you will not be the biggest losers. Your journey ends here.
I guess I was feeling a bit relieved that I was still there, but also sad because we just lost our friends. But we all know that they can take this journey out home, so they'll be fine.
It wasn't a very easy thing to do.
No, it wasn't pleasant.
It wasn't pleasant at all.
Sad to see him go.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between the two girls and Ram and Tam have the potential to lose a lot of weight, and the girls don't.
Tanya and Ramses were the bigger threat of the two. Although they had a few obstacles this last week, they still had good weight loss. Had they rallied this week and got motivated, they could really, get some high numbers next week. So they really could be one of our bigger threats.
Yeah, it was a big wake-up call that this is now a game.
I obviously seem pretty upset to you all. I have my mindset that Melanie and I were leaving tonight, so when you put yourself in that frame of mind, you start thinking about all the things that you're going to be going home to. I'm missing my boyfriend Ben a lot. It's really hard. There's so many things I miss about him. I really do want to be here.
Oh, you prove that you want to be here by dropping 6 kilos.
Yeah.
That's a big statement right there, so just be proud of that and just keep going.
Thanks.
Everyone's here for you.
We've given Holly the second chance to really try, but she's not grateful. Mel is. Mel's grateful. Holly has just shrugged it off. We've got a clear conscience. If she takes advantage of it, good. If she doesn't, then we can't do any more.
My time on the island, and Andrew's as well, we've had fun. We're competing against each other. We've accomplished the most amazing things, and I can see my life already turning around. And just as I'm starting to get comfortable, we've been told to go and meet AJ on the beach.
We could see some planes and some boats out on the horizon, and we could see some Sirocco boats just behind AJ. And I was wondering what the hell was going on.
As we're walking down, we noticed the paddle boats. It was very scary. I'd never been in one of those in my life, so I thought I don't know how I was going to go.
Contestants, this island is the place you've called home for the past week. It's where you took your first steps towards your new life. But while this is where your journey started, it won't be where your journey ends.
Oh, please not the commando.
Contestants, it's time to go home.
Home?
Time to go home.
But not to the one you know. The next chapter in your journey is about to begin. You will embark on the biggest mission that this competition has ever seen. A 2,500 kilometre race across the country.
When AJ said that we were going to race thousands of kilometres, I thought it was going to be extremely long and extremely draining, and it was going to be absolutely scary.
An epic interstate marathon from Fitzroy Island to your brand new home in Sydney. The first couple to arrive will win immunity, guaranteeing them another week in the competition.
When AJ said that The race was for immunity. Sean and I both looked at each other and thought, well, we need this because we were just above the yellow line last week.
I think Nathan and I have exposed ourselves as a big threat, so I believe if we fall below the yellow line and we don't have immunity, we could be voted out.
Sitting out at sea are 4 different modes of transport waiting to take you to Cairns. A speedboat, a seaplane, a fishing trawler, and a sailing boat. The speedboat, the seaplane, and the fishing trawler can each carry 2 couples. The sailing boat can hold 3. Be warned, none of the vessels will leave until they're full. To reach them, you and your partner will have to climb aboard a Sirocco inflatable raft and row out to one of the 4 awaiting vessels.
There were 4 transports out on the water. The furthest one was the fastest, the closest one was the slowest.
Ben and myself, we decided if we can get into one of the first 3, either the speedboat, the seaplane or the fishing charter, we'd be all right.
Once you arrive on the mainland, the next leg on this epic course will be a punishing 3-kilometre foot race to Cairns Airport. And that's where you'll catch the flight to Sydney, where the race really begins. Upon arrival, you'll receive further instructions that will lead you to your final destination, the place you will soon call home. There's just one more thing. Each couple must carry a bag of sand, the significance of which will be revealed once you've all arrived at your destination. While it's small, for the couple that comes last, its impact will be huge.
I thought, well, God, is one of us going to be eliminated, you know, straight away? You know, what does that mean?
When we were all lined up ready to start this race, Mum squeezed my hand and said, let's just do this the best we can. And I thought, OK, that's a good start, but I'm going to go one step better. We're going to do this better than what we can.
My heart was just pumping out of my chest. I was so nervous. And again, I don't want to let Megan down, so I just think, God, Julie, you've just got to do it. But my legs were like jelly, and I thought, I can't do this. And then I thought, yes, I can. Then I thought, no, I can't. Then I thought, yes, I have to.
Melanie and I were discussing a plan before we started. I said we have to row as fast as we can and as hard as we can. And if there's other people out there, to talk to them and let them know what we were doing so we could fill up our mode of transport as quickly as possible and get out there as quickly as possible.
Contestants, are you ready?
Yes! I'm scared of boats. I don't like water where I can't see the bottom, so I was really freaking out.
Go!
I'd never been so scared in my life. I just didn't know how we were going to do it and how we were going to go on the water.
Contestants, are you ready?
Yes! When AJ said that we were racing for immunity, I said to Melanie that we need to win because I don't want to fall under the yellow line again this week and have to be put up for elimination.
Go!
Holly and I just went straight for it. I leapt in the boat, she started rowing straight away, and I was paddling at the front, and I looked behind us and people were still walking up the beach as we were sort of 10, 20 metres out of the water, so we just kept going hard and didn't stop the whole way.
We saw everyone else run down to the opposite end of the beach so that the breeze and the current would carry them down to where the transport was. But Melanie and I ran straight in front of us and I paddled just so hard and fast.
When Dad was rowing, I had to push up against his back so he didn't slip off the chair. I was being a baby, I was sort of stressing him out because heaps of water was coming in the raft and there were massive waves and I was screaming because I was looking for crocodiles in the water, which freaked me out even more.
I thought that Amanda and I would struggle on the rowboat section, carrying near on 300 kilos.
At that point, I was panicking a little bit, but as soon as I was in and Stuart was in, we were off and running and I knew that we were in a pretty good position.
Andrew and Nathan had decided, along with Melanie and myself, to team up together. We thought if we could stay together as long as we could in the game, if there was a situation where we needed another team's help, that we could be there for each other and help each other along.
We passed the yacht and also the fishing charter, and the seaplane was right there, and I said, screw it, let's just hop on the seaplane, because I could see Nathan and Andrew coming up straight behind us, and we knew that because they're smart, they would jump first straight on whatever they could.
Holly and Mel just nailed it. Everyone just sort of thought they'd fall behind because they're not strong. But they nailed it out there.
Sure enough, the yellow girls and Ethan and Andrew went for the seaplane, so we had no other option but to have to go to the speedboat.
With a Boy Scout background, I have rowed boats many times before, so I did catch the rest of the pack, you know, stroke by stroke, and went past most of them.
Stuart just kept going and going and going. It was amazing.
Sharif wanted to row. So I said to Sweeters, you can row, but Sharif can't row. Okay, I'm sorry, but the cameras will show that I'm sorry, Sharif, but you can't row. And, you know, he really tried his best, and that was the best thing. I just kept pushing him and pushing him and said, we can't be last, we can't be last. And he goes, I'm trying, you're not sitting upright. And I was like, oh, man, this is not working.
Probably about 2 minutes into the race, I realised that we were in trouble, especially when you're seeing people who have streaked ahead of you by 30, 40, 50, 60 metres.
I was really happy that Nathan and Andrew jumped into the plane with us. It actually made Melanie and I feel really good to be neck and neck with Andrew and Nathan, just to know that we could keep up with the two people that stand out as though they could win the game. It was a great feeling.
Being in first place is obviously a good feeling. It's not something that isn't known to Nathan and I in this game.
We got up in the air and it was phenomenal. You know, what a wonderful way to see and to farewell Fitzroy Island.
Megan and I had planned, if it wasn't too hard, to go to the fishing charter boat, the second vessel.
Come on, take your time, take your time, take your time. You're all right. Okay, now we're going to go around the back, okay?
The weather was terrible, the wind was up, there was massive waves around us, but we were the first group to get to the fishing charter boat. I was really happy with that.
For the row, Sean and I had decided that we'd try and either get to the speedboat or the seaplane.
When we were out there, we weren't far from the charter boat, and Stuart and Amanda had passed us and they were on their way out to the speedboat. So I said to Ben, what do you want to do? And we decided at that point we'd take the charter boat.
Up you come. Grab that chair. You're right.
How many does that take? Sean, Ben, how many couples does that take?
Jodie and I had a bad start.
Ben, how many couples?
We ended up getting to the fishing boat. Ben and Sean were there.
Really? Come in. Does this take 4?
And we were screaming out to Ben and Sean if there was enough room for us on there. Ben was saying, yes, come quick, you know, keep rowing. And then as soon as we got there, they told us to turn back. There was no more room.
Oh, you just said, Let's come.
We were so angry. Jodie was furious. She rode her little arms off to get there, and
grab the chair.
They told us to come, and then as soon as we got there, they turned us around. I was angry. I was cursing them. I just couldn't believe they had done this.
How many more?
That's it.
I don't know if he realised Julie and Megan were on the boat, but I could see Megan and Julie, so I don't know how he didn't.
Oh, well, we're on our way to Sydney.
I don't know if Ben and Sean did that on purpose. I really don't. But we thought this is going to cost us. It's going to cost us the game. Once we got going on the boat, Ben and Sean, Mum and I were extremely happy. It was high fives all around, hugs, everything.
We knew once we got going, we'd probably be in third or fourth spot, depending on how Megan and Julie were going to travel once we arrived back in Cairns. So we were in a comfortable position at that stage.
To be totally honest, I was quite glad to get off the island. Beautiful place, but it just had been a bad week for me. I'd fainted at one stage and I was quite ill and was terrible at the end of each training session with Shannan.
Leaving Fitzroy Island was a sad but happy situation, happy to be moving on and going on to new places, which is really exciting, but sad because it is a beautiful place.
Amanda and I were thrilled when we got to the speedboat and so excited when we got on board.
Well done!
Well done.
That soon changed to sort of anxiousness, I suppose, because we needed another couple to join us before we could even leave.
Me and Dad rode up to the sailboat and we were on first, which was amazing because we thought we were going to be last to everything and stuck out in the middle of the sea.
Please.
Sam and I were first on the sailing boat, followed by the pink team, Jodie and Jetta.
Go, Jodie, go, Jetta!
As we were heading towards the sailboat, I was devastated to think that out of all of them, we got the worst option. We got the sailboat. I didn't want the sailboat. Jenna and I never discussed going anywhere near that sailboat. It was the slowest form of transportation.
Our plan was to head for the seaplane or the fishing trawler, but we didn't get to either of those on time. So the next option was to head for the sailing boat.
I could see that Sharif and Teresa were paddling for the yacht. So I decided that at least, you know, if we got to the yacht, we weren't going to be the last one to the yacht. So I put in the effort.
Good work, Chief and Bob! Good work!
And just beat them back to the yacht.
When we realised we couldn't get on the sailing boat, our only option was to head for the speedboat. The frustration is immense and it tests you, mentally and emotionally as well, because you're rowing and for every metre you gain, you lose two. You want to give up, but you don't want to give up at the same time. Like, you know that you can't give up because if you give up, then it's all over. So you've got to still try and push through.
My heart just went out to them, and I could see that Sharif was tiring. He was just getting swept away, which meant he had to put more effort to keep coming back into the wind. So as I watched him, I just felt so sorry for him because I knew what a mammoth effort they were faced with. In fact, I thought it would be almost impossible to come back from there.
Yeah, I couldn't see where I was rowing, and Teresa was trying not to let me know how far away we were, but I looked around at one point and realised that we were further and further away the harder I rowed. At our lowest point, I was thinking about my wife. Thinking about the fact that her birthday was coming up and you can't be there. And so you do question why. Why you're doing it. Why you're putting yourself through this.
Hey, good boy. 12.8 kilos. Sorry I had to leave you behind. Like fun.
Don't be sorry. On the sailboat, the captain told us it'd be about 2.5 hour trip. I was devastated. I just wanted to get to Cairns and finish this race.
I definitely felt sitting on the sailboat with them guys, we weren't going to come in last. They were going to come in last. Yes, we have chosen the worst form of transportation that was here, but as long as we don't let these guys overtake us, things will be fine.
When the yacht left, I looked out and saw that Teresa and Sharif were still ages away. And I thought, that's okay, they've still got time to get here. We will be right, because we still had the fastest boat.
It just got to a point where he was just exhausted because he did not have the physical strength in his top half of his body, so I just pushed him off the chair, pretty much. He'll probably say something different, but I did. I pushed him off the chair and he was just like glad to get off. I should have rowed in the first place because my upper body strength is a lot better than him. In his life, he's always the leader in the group. And the thing is, with Sharif, sometimes he bites off more than he can chew. And I knew straight away he'd bitten off more than he could chew once we started rowing. I had to wait for him to basically hit rock bottom for me to actually take over. There was no way that we could have done it any other way, because he would have let me row in the first place.
I felt like I'd let her down. When I was that exhausted that Teresa had to take over the rowing, I felt like I'd let her down, because she was now having to row not only herself, but row and carry my weight as well. And me being the heaviest person in the competition, that's no mean feat.
Come on, Teresa, dig deep. Not too far now.
Not much further, you can do it! Just keep going, come on!
I was very concerned about Teresa and Sharif. I just didn't know when they were going to get to us, if they were going to get to us and what they were going to do, whether they were just going to give up and just float back into shore. They just weren't getting any closer.
Coming up,
If we're gonna come last, at least make it a good last.
tempers flare as the race for immunity continues.
Next time Ben and Sean go under the yellow line, they got my friggin' boat.
And later, it's time to put the pedal to the metal as the couples touch down in Sydney.
Stupid boss, we need some money!
You know, when I think about when I was rowing, I was really frustrated because I was going like so far ahead and then the current would just go and pull me back, and I'm like, and Sharif, just to keep me rowing, was saying, yeah, you're getting closer. Yeah, you're getting closer.
Not much further, you can do it!
Teresa is amazing in terms of her perseverance and her strength. She can row twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, even 10 times better than I can. And she rowed and rowed and rowed.
Well done, you guys!
Amanda and Stuart were really, really good, actually. You know, by the time we got to the boat, Amanda said, you know, I just felt for you that you were rowing out there for so long that I couldn't be angry with the fact that we were going to be last with you.
Sit down, sit down, sit down.
Come on, let's go, let's go. Oh,
Sit down.
oh, sweetheart.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, just breathe. Come on, Sharif. Come on, Sharif.
Sharif and Teresa were just exhausted after spending 2 hours in the water. It was just sad to see in a way. But it wasn't their fault. It could have been us, it could have been anybody.
Come up here, mate. You all right?
When we were in the air, I'd spoken to Andrew and also the girls. Just said, look, how do you feel about going into cahoots until we get to Sydney? But then once we're in Sydney, it's each to their own. It is a race, and they both said, sure, no worries.
When we finally arrived at the mainland, it was definitely a good feeling. Being in first place is great.
We're not ready to go home, so knowing that coming last, it could jeopardise our place in the competition, we just did not want that.
I think getting immunity is extremely important just because you know you're in the game for another week. Bob and I like to think that, we can lose the weight and stay in the game that way, but having immunity would make that week easier. We would love to have immunity.
At that point, we felt as if we were the second group. I thought the sailboat would have to do a hell of a lot of catching up to get to us before Cairns, but the speedboat could have come around that corner and just blitzed us at any time. So everybody needs immunity, and when AJ said that, we were racing for it, it makes your heart thump a bit more knowing that there's so much on the line.
When I got to the speedboat, I was really relieved. First thing I said to the speedboat operator, I said, how fast does this boat go? And he goes, I go to maximum 60. He goes, I can go 60 knots. And I go, yeah. And I go, how many nautical miles are we? And he goes, 50. And I go, 25 minutes. And he goes, yep. And Sharif goes, how do you know all this? I said, oh, you know, that's what happens when you have an ex-husband that loves the sea. So, yeah. And I was like, yep, okay, 25 minutes. Yep, cool, we'll be right.
Making that time, I had hopes that we beat sailing boat.
There's the plane, guys.
Nothing's getting off now. You said they're just getting off. Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought they'd be well there by now.
We knew that Nathan and Andrew and Holly and Mel were in front of us because we could see the seaplane moored out in the harbour, so we knew that the two couples were in front of us.
When we finally arrived at the mainland, it was definitely a good feeling. Being in first place is great. We had arrived with Holly and Mel.
Thanks so much.
We decided to basically stick together until we had reached the airport, and then it was every man for themselves, or lady for themselves, as it was be.
Check this shit out.
Oh, what is it?
So we headed into the dock, the biggest loser sign, and a map. All four of us had a look at the map. We followed the map, 3 Ks, so we hoofed it.
We start here. We're going to go to Marina Point building, which is there. Go up past the barbecue area.
Heading off on the
All
Cairns
right, so let's go. All right, so we're going to go to the point up here.
It was really, really important that we got to the airport as soon as we could because I didn't know if we were going to be leaving on a plane that day, and I didn't know if it was the half-hour increments of the plane leaving. I didn't know what was going on, and I just said to Sharif, we have to get to the airport.
I think Melanie and I held each other together during the race. It was hard to run all that way and to row and to keep up with each other because 1 minute one of us was faster than the other and we had to, you know, tell the other to hurry up.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. I know you're hurting.
We've got to pick it up. We can't slacken off. If we miss a plane by 10 minutes, he's going to be pissed off.
Our game plan was to get off the boat and basically go as quick as we could to try and make up a little bit of time on who we thought might have been first or second. We weren't sure when the seaplane had landed. We knew that it would have to land and then moor, and then they'd have to get to the wharf. So we weren't sure how much time that was going to take.
This way. Where's the airport?
Ben and Sean just took off, so Mum and I got out of the boat and took off as well.
We knew we had a 3-kilometre road race to the airport, but we ran up to the deck on the marina and thought, what's going on here? You know, how do we find our way?
There we go. I know. The flag's along there.
We got up the top and I said to Ben, which way are we going? And we said, we don't know. So we basically started asking people in the public, how do we get to the airport and that?
What maps?
Someone said, oh, there's maps back on the pontoon, so we had to run back down, grab a map.
We've got to get back.
So now we've got to get back.
We were so blinded by the excitement that we ran past the sign with the map and everything else. So they had to go back and get the map, and we found the map and then we took off.
Melanie and I were extremely pleased and proud of ourselves.
Bye, guys.
June 16th through departure. I never knew that Melanie and I had that much energy and motivation in ourselves and in each other to actually get through it.
When we arrived to Cairns, I was standing up already. I couldn't wait to get off there. I had enough of the boat and I needed to get off and I needed to start running.
You ready to rumble, Jode? Ready to rumble.
The worst thing is about me and Dad, we don't ever have a game plan. We don't really know how to play the game, and if we did, we'd probably be really bad at it. We knew Jodie and Jetta would beat us, so we sort of thought they'd be quicker, and we thought we were last, definitely. So Dad just sort of said, you know, take it as it is. And I said, well, if we're going to come last, at least make it a good last, not just slow down, like 2 hours away from everyone else.
Jetta, take that map. Take that map.
We were either going to be the last group or we'd have the speedboat behind us. That's the only thing we kept our fingers crossed for.
Here we go. See him.
What? Oh, look out, lucky.
We had talked to Cam and Sam and we thought, you know, we'll just walk it together. There was going to be no running. We knew that. We knew that the pink girls, Jodie and Jetta, they would jump off the boat and start running. Look, as long as we can keep those couples behind us, we're not last. Yeah. All right? We knew that Bob and I, or Sam and Cam, were going to be last. There was no idea of where the speedboat was. We had assumed that they had zoomed off ahead of us. We just knew that we were going to be coming in last. I was extremely angry. I probably cursed a few times. You know, we would run as fast as we could and we would slow down to catch our breath, and it was exhausting. We had no choice in what boat we got. The boat we picked, we were told we could hop on it. When we got there, we got turned away.
Oh, you just said, oh. Let's come. Oh, where are we going? Gotta go here.
The boys stuffed us over. We had no choice but to go for the sailboat, which took us almost 3 hours to get here. 3 friggin' hours.
All right, bro.
And next time Ben and Sean go under the yellow line, they got my friggin' boat.
That was a quick trip, wasn't it? Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go. We're nearly there.
Where are we? I think we could be at that bend there. The road's turning off.
Dad, if we're gonna come last, at least make it a good last. I was sort of getting frustrated with Dad. He's got bad feet and bad knees and he is overweight and it's hard for him, but I was just like, well, you know, come on, why can't you just, you know, walk a little bit faster?
Just to the rubbish bin. Take small bites and chew well. Small bites and chew well.
I said to Sharif, I said, I'm not going to let Amanda and Stuart behind.
One foot in front of the other.
Those guys waited for us for 2 hours. I said, it's disrespectful for us to run ahead of them. And I said, no.
One foot in front of the other. Small bites.
We're going to do it all together.
Come on, you right? Yeah.
You can push yourself a little bit harder.
Here's your boarding passes. Awesome. Boarding through gate 16, you go through security.
When it came to the leg race, Jetta and I didn't overtake anybody. Nobody overtook us. We made sure that the 2 couples that were on the sailboat with us didn't have a chance of catching up with us. So at that stage of the game, as long as the guys behind us didn't overtake us, I was sweet.
Boarding will be through gate 16 through the departure lounge. Boarding will be through gate 16 through the departure lounge.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good luck.
When we got to the airport, we had actually managed to be about 8 to 10 seconds ahead of Stuart and Amanda. So when we actually got to the check-in counter, because they had waited on the boat for so long for us, we wanted to wait for them.
Boarding will be through gate 16 through the departure lounge.
We're just going to wait for the purple team because they waited for us.
They waited 2.5 hours for us. 2.5 hours?
Yeah, while we rode a dinghy into the current. 8 seconds doesn't seem like much, but given how good-spirited they were about the fact that they'd been waiting, we wanted to pay back the courtesy in any way, in any small way possible, and wait for them so that we checked in together and got on the same plane.
There you go.
Oh, that's last. Here's
Thank
your
you very
boarding
much.
passes.
I was curious to know what was waiting in Sydney for us. Was there going to be another leg of the race? We've been told by AJ that when we get to Sydney, the race was just going to begin, so there could have been anything in store for us.
Running into the airport, it was a really good feeling knowing that we had conquered the first leg of the race. It was fantastic.
On the plane, it was good to sort of get that rest. I felt that we should get some rest because we don't know what's in store for us next.
We'd been told by AJ that when we get to Sydney, the race was just going to begin, so there could have been anything in store for us.
All we know is when we kick off the second leg, we're going to exit the plane in staggered starts, in the same order that we finished in Cairns.
See ya. Bye-bye. See ya. Bye.
When the plane touched down in Sydney, I kind of thought, well, it's back on again now. We've got to give it our all and not stop till we get to the end.
Andrew and I were pretty confident we could tackle what was coming ahead.
Nathan and I got out of the airport basically the same time as Holly and Mel. We got to a table, a whole lot of different choices on how to get to our final destination. There was train tickets, bus tickets and ferry tickets, and there was a large sign saying Manly or bust.
So we took the Manly or bust sign and put our faith in ourselves to convince a member of the public.
Happy with that? Happy with that.
Do you want a bus pass? Bus? I've never been to Sydney in my life. I'm absolutely clueless.
I haven't got any cash. It's a game and we're on the biggest loser on the TV and we need to get to Manly.
We'll go the ferry pass. No, too slow. 20 bucks. The ferry goes straight. 20 bucks for a bus pass, quick. Bus pass.
Not you? Oh. Cheers, thank you.
We started off running around like headless chooks, not knowing what we're going to do, so we just started asking people for help.
Do you know where this takes you? I don't know. Oh, quick!
We had to get all the way from the airport, over the harbour to Manly, and then up to North Head. So get a ferry pass. Sean and I decided to take the ferry option because we knew that there was a ferry that ran from Circular Quay over to Manly.
Nathan and I ran around the car park for a little while, and then there was just this one gentleman named Fred, and we asked him if he could give us a lift, and he said, sure, let's go for it.
Yes. You are a top man. I got it in, no worries.
I brought my GPS for a reason.
I tell you what, I thank you very much, guys. This is wonderful.
Having all these choices in front of us, your mind's going at 100 miles an hour and you're looking but it's not computing.
Take the bus. Okay, let's go. Go on, help us.
We ran straight out, jumped on the first bus we could. Then the race was on. We were out of here.
Is there any way from this bus that we can get to Manly Beach if we get on another bus, or not?
No, I don't think so.
Stupid bus!
When we were running, we were reasonably confident that we were in first place at that stage.
Far out. What do you reckon? Ferries are going to go slow? Go train.
The first thing we had to look for was the train station.
Taxi, so it's got to be down there then.
But we couldn't find it for the first 15 minutes.
Then how do we get it? I don't know, baby. We're like, what the hell are we going to do?
Yep, you're going to have to get a ferry from Circular Quay, yeah.
Has anybody got money? We need some money!
We need to catch the ferry and the train, so we thought, crap, what are we going to do? We have no money, we only have a bus pass. And we thought, well, why don't we, scab for money?
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Thanks, little dude. You're a lifesaver.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks.
Cheers, bro.
Holly, wait. Shit. If it's $14, I'm like 20 cents short.
We ended up getting enough money for a train ticket that took us to Wynyard train station.
Doors closing. Please stand clear.
I have no idea where we are.
On arrival at the airport in Sydney, we saw there was a table set up.
I don't know.
I'll take a train then.
Okay.
ticket wouldn't get us onto that ferry. So we knew that we were going to have to sort of rustle up some money.
One dear old lady, she very, very kindly gave us $10.
There you go. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, we appreciate it.
Ferry pass or $20?
Where are we going to? To Manly.
Okay.
I think the $20.
Okay. How much would the
So it
ferry
costs
be?
$14 each to get the train from here to Circular Quay. Does it?
Well, we can't get there on $20.
When we arrived at Sydney Airport, it was confirmed for us that we'd finished last in the Cairns League. The only two options left were a ferry pass and $20 cash, so we were going to have to part company and hope that neither of us ended up at the destination last.